watched a movie the other night with Randy Houser in it, and the whole time I'm like, yeah, baby, you
Houser's
like
in a
this movie? Yeah.
Randy Houser was in a movie?
Yeah.
What movie was he in?
Dude, it was a Netflix movie.
Did he have a scarf on?
The Hill. No.
The Hill?
He was an old mechanic. It's a baseball movie. We'll talk about it.
We're talking about it.
Oh.
We are talking about it. So, what? Wait, he was an old mechanic?
Yeah, so the movie is about this kid. It's based on a true story. It's about this kid that he has something wrong with his spine. And so he's like, got the Forrest Gump leg braces on, you know?
Be Forrest Gump leg braces.
So his dream is to play baseball. His dad's a preacher.
Don't do it. Don't you dare spray water all over the office.
So his dad's a preacher, and his dad.
Why are
wants
you
him-
laughing?
It just caught me off. I put a mouthful of water, and he goes, he's got his Forrest Gump braces on.
I don't know
he
what
wanted
else
to
you
play
call him.
baseball.
You know, and so his dad's a preacher, and he's like, he doesn't want his son to play baseball. He wants his son to be a preacher. Blah blah blah. And so the kid's one dream is to play baseball. There was this scene. It was a little corny. There was this scene where he kind of does the Forrest Gump thing, where like his leg braces break off, and
No.
you know, he
They did
hits a
not bring that
baseball
back.
500 feet, you know, and all this stuff. But the movie was a really good movie, and so Randy Houser was in it. He was a mechanic, and as the kid grew up, he worked on cars with Randy Houser at the shop, and Randy going out with my boots on. Randy
I'm running out of my leg braces.
Randy helped him go to a tryout where he gets ultimately drafted by the Expos. Played 4 years in the major leagues.
And this is a true story?
True story. Played 4 years.
I didn't know Randy was a mechanic.
I didn't either.
Played 4 years in the majors until his spine gave out. Yeah.
Come on, man.
So what you're saying is, if you work on cars with Randy Houser, your spine will go out.
And you're going to go pro in baseball.
I feel like none of that was true. I feel like that was a dream you had last night.
Bro, look, it's called The Hill.
The Hill.
The Hill. The Hill.
Wow.
movie.
Welcome to Twangtown. I am David Tolliver.
And I'm Colt Mirsky.
Tall Brewski.
Today we have
Today,
Joshua Phillips.
oh,
He goes
Thank
by
y'all for
Josh.
having me, dudes.
I don't know. Yeah. We've talked about a lot of things in this podcast.
There it
Damn,
is.
it is a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know Randy acted.
I didn't either.
Yeah, he's also in what's that Western movie that just came out?
Did he have a scarf on in that one? Like a neck,
He
like
might
a
have.
bandana around it. Remember when he went through the
He did
bandana
have a
phase?
bandana on, yes.
He went through a bandana phase where he'd wear them at every show, like
Yep.
a cowboy.
Like a cowboy.
Cowboy.
I remember the first time I met Randy. I was doing a session with Kent Blasey at County Q. County Q's a studio in town.
Remember County Q?
Yeah, and I walked in and I was going to. I can't put one of my songs on the session, so I was going to go in and sing it. And I walk in and this dude's in there in a hat and a big long duster, and it was Randy. And
He was wearing a
he was
duster.
wearing a duster, dude.
Had his horse tied
Yeah.
up outside.
Yeah, he was like a cowboy singing in there. That's the first time I met Randy.
That's my kind of country. Dude, that old Randy stuff was amazing, though.
It's
Well, yeah.
singing
It's,
son of
I
a
mean,
bitch,
he's
man.
unreal.
He's
Unreal.
awesome.
Yeah.
Love that dude.
I want to hear him sing the blues. Lee was like, Bo, you like blues? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got to hear Randy
You
Houser
should.
sing the blues. I was like,
He's soulful. as all
done.
get
I
out,
love the
man.
blues.
Yeah. All in on
Well,
that.
that's when I first met. He was singing. I was like, dude,
He's got that-
you should do the blues thing.
Delta, Mississippi
Well.
thing, you know?
He's got like it. Yeah, he's got the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw Hauser hypnotize a chicken one time.
I feel like this is a dream you had.
No.
I wouldn't believe that if it wasn't. I saw Hauser do that. Like,
No,
it happened.
we were at Mary Loving's house, and she had
yeah.
chickens.
Yeah.
And so we'd been drinking, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, y'all want to see me hypnotize a chicken? And we're all like, yeah. He goes and chases this chicken. Took him a minute to catch it. Finally gets it.
I don't see Randy chasing anything.
Shoves. Well, this was young Randy. This was back in the day, like 2005 or 6.
Yeah.
Shoves this chicken's face in the ground like if you're rubbing a dog's nose and shit. And he starts drawing like a peace sign or something. He was drawing something in like the gravel, and that chicken's just sitting there.
What the heck?
It's looking at it, and I think the chicken was just more freaked out than hypnotized, but it was just like, what, this big man is shoving my head in the dirt, and I have no idea what I did to deserve this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That should be a band name. Randy Hauser's Hypnotized Chicken.
Randy Hauser and the Hypnotizing Chicken.
The Hitman Chicks. Yeah.
Oh. Now, if you don't know Josh, he's one of the most talented songwriters that I've ever been in the room with. He's really quick. You buy books on how to word stuff, right? Isn't there a book you were reading one time? You told me did you dream this too?
No,
I dream this?
I bought a book called How to Write Better Lyrics, but
it was a pocket thing too, right? Because your pocket is all like the way you phrase.
Yeah, so
things.
that whole thing was a Max Martin thing. I just went down the rabbit hole. Max Martin does this thing. It's called song math. And basically, like if line 1 has 8 syllables and line 2 has 12 syllables, then line 3 has to have 8 syllables and line 4 has to have 12.
See?
So it's song math, and then
There's
What
math in there.
kind of math is it?
song math.
Song math?
Song.
Song?
You
be
making
nice.
fun of my
Is it
accent
Hooned?
now. Song math.
Josh is from deep North Carolina.
Yeah, baby.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah,
We love you.
we love y'all too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought. Dadgummit. I bought the book, Writing Better Lyrics, and then in typical my fashion, I read like the foreword.
Yeah.
And that was it. Because I can't read.
Feel you, bro.
It was pictures
Me
in
and
the
you
foreword.
from Appalachia.
I read good.
I read good.
I don't like the math. My favorite color is dump truck. You know,
That's a good thing about writing, though. Like, all we have to do is make the word rhyme.
Yeah.
We ain't got to spell it right.
dude, I can't spell.
No,
if it
can't
wasn't
either.
for autocorrect, I sent Colt a lyric one time, and he goes, "You spelled weather. It's weather the weather." The song we wrote
love
together.
that
He
song,
wrote it
dude.
all wrong.
And yeah, I spelled it completely wrong, or you spelled it wrong and sent it to me.
Well,
wrong.
it's
I don't
probably
know.
me.
Probably was
I
you.
love that song, though.
Yeah.
Baby, I weather.
I was going harmony, bro.
Weather with you. It's great.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up in North Carolina?
Sanford,
Sanford,
which is 30 miles south of Raleigh.
Raleigh, Durham.
That's BD territory.
Yeah,
It is.
Sure is.
Yep.
Brian Davis, he was on the podcast. He was, wasn't he? Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Many moons ago,
Yeah.
a while back. Did you grow up playing music?
Yes and no. So my mother was like an angel. She was in church every Sunday, took us
I've
to
met
church
this
every
woman.
Sunday. Yeah, she is an angel.
Yeah.
And so when I was like 4 or 5, she was like, I want you to do something other than baseball, which is all I did. And she was like, guitar, piano, pick one. My sister picked piano, I picked guitar. And I took lessons for probably, dude, I bet a year. And I was like, nah, this ain't working.
Yeah.
I hate this. And so then I stopped playing. I just focused on baseball. Dude played baseball all the way up through college, got hurt, and a girl that I was dating at the time had a guitar in her closet. And I was like, man, I don't really have anything to do since baseball's gone.
Yeah.
So do you care if I take it home and figure out how to play it again? And so I did.
So you took the guitar home and not the girl.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a song right there.
Pretty much.
It's not. It's not a song though.
Come on.
It's really not.
I gave her the
Josh
guitar
would write
back. I would write it.
But you. Let's talk about the baseball. You're
Yep.
a really good baseball player.
I was.
Yeah.
What'd you
How'd
play?
Yeah.
Center field, right field.
Yeah. Well, did you hit too? Did you hit well?
I would say that was what I was best at. For
Power
sure.
hitter.
Yeah. I was a really good hitter. Defense, I was good, but I wasn't great.
Yeah.
You know?
You let the balls go between your legs.
No, I just wasn't like pro caliber, fielder. Had
Yeah.
a great arm, decent fielder, but I was a really good hitter.
Well, I knew that. I knew. Did you play in college?
I did.
You did. Where'd you play?
I played at Pitt.
At Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Not the. I played pig.
Did you say pig?
Yeah, that's cool, man. And then, so you picked up a guitar again in college, and did you start
Yep.
writing songs then?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things. It was more of a therapy thing for me. My dad had always wrote poems, and I think for me it was just like I had a bunch of stuff in my head because the life that I had planned obviously wasn't going to happen. So I started writing stuff, and didn't really think it would go anywhere. Me and that same girl broke up over Thanksgiving break one day.
Did you give the guitar back to her?
Well, yes, eventually I did. But so we broke up over Thanksgiving break. I went home to Sanford and wrote this song called Blessings. It's terrible, but you can probably find it on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
But it's like when I count my blessings, the first thing I think of, it's awful. The first thing I think of
You
is
did not.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to record me singing it, and I'm going to send it to her. It was the first time I ever did it. And being the sweet girl that she was like, this is awesome. We got back together. And she was like, I want to put this on YouTube. And I'm like, no.
Like, what year was this? What
This was,
what year was this?
So I would have been 20, 21-ish.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago.
Okay. I just want to get a time
It's hard
frame.
math. So
2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah.
2013, 2014. And she was like, you've been writing a bunch of songs. You should go do an EP of these songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And she was like, okay, here's the deal. I'll put it on YouTube. If it gets, I don't remember what it was, let's just say 5,000 views in 24 hours, then you have to go record an EP. And I was like, done. It'll never get 5,000 views. It got like 20,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, crap,
Wow.
dude. And so my whole hometown, was picking on me for writing this song and this girl and all that crap. And so then I found this producer in Raleigh who totally screwed me. Like,
They always do.
just totally screwed me.
They
dude.
always do.
Yeah, so I borrowed like $4,500 to record this 5-song EP, and it was so bad. Dude. Like, not only were the lyrics bad, but just the production was awful.
Did the producer play all the instruments too?
Oh, I'm sure. Dude.
Yeah.
It was brutal. I had no idea how to navigate it, anything. So scrapped that EP, and then I just started playing like local bars acoustic, you know, and I had a bunch of buddies that hung out at this biker bar that we always hung out at called Poorhouse in Farmville, North Carolina, and they were like, we need somebody to play acoustic for 4 hours on Friday nights. We'll give you $250, dude.
Wow.
And so me, I'm like broke college kid, couldn't play baseball, $250, and I can drink for free, dude.
You're
Let's
rich.
go. Yeah. So I'm in there playing, TROUBLE, and here's a quarter all night. And there was a dude up in Boone, North Carolina, that was doing the same thing. And we met on Twitter. He messaged, or one of us messaged the other one day, and we were like, hey, we should start writing songs together. And it's Luke Combs, and so we started writing together, and then
I knew it was coming. He was. I like that setup. That was a dude up in Boone, North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, it was like he wasn't Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Then. It was just like the thing, and so we started writing, and we would make monthly trips back and forth to Nashville to just kind of network. And then he cut some songs that I wrote. He moved, and then I was still kind of just coming up once a month, sleeping on his couch, and had no idea that you could make money writing songs for people.
Yeah.
And so then I finally moved, took a chance.
And how long you been here?
It'll be 9 years.
Damn, dude. That's amazing.
9 years in a 10-year town. I just spent 9 years in a 10-year
Who's your first cut?
Luke.
Was it Luke? What song? Like,
Yeah,
you
it was
remember the
Can I
song?
Get an Outlaw?
I don't remember that one.
I found some fun pictures of Josh.
Oh, God.
Oh, you
So
Let's
Josh,
go.
the second one didn't print out as big, but Josh recently renewed his publishing deal, so there was a newer press photo on him. But
Oh, boy.
this photo here, I think, is from 2017 when he first signed with Warner Chappell.
Is this when he could never find his sleeves?
Well, it's funny you say that because look, Josh and Brantley both have no tat. Well, Josh has a little tat on his right arm. And then you have to look at this one a little closer. But now both y'all are all sleeved up on both arms.
Speaking of, how'd you meet Brantley?
Dude, God has just been amazing. He is, I think, in all of our lives and in this business, because it is a chance thing. I think every aspect of it,
Of course.
So I met Brantley, dude, it would have been about 8 years ago now. Luke was on tour with him.
Yeah.
And I was writing with Luke and our buddy Brian Davis. Also, Brantley was looking for another person to sign that just kind of wrote like that thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I think Luke was like, dude, you need to hear Josh Phillips' stuff. And so thanks to Luke again, if it were not for Luke, I would have never met Brantley, and Brantley would have never signed me.
Huh, I didn't know. I didn't know that you met Luke first. I
didn't know that either.
I've known you for don't know how many years now. Basically, I think I've known you since you basically moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
The first time we met, we were.
I love this. Let me tell my side of this story before you tell yours. So, My Baby's Guns N' Roses was like my favorite Brantley Gilbert song of all time. I was a huge Brantley fan. Don't tell him I said that.
Yeah.
Before, now I'm not a fan. I don't even like him.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love him. But yeah, so I met you. You were with Brian Davis at Tin Roof, and I'm like, I didn't know anybody in town. And I'm like, oh, crap, dude. That's the guy that wrote My Baby's Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been wanting to meet him. And so I walk over, and now here comes your side.
So I'm in there, and I'm not really paying attention. Then I see this dude looking at me, and I'm like, oh, shit. What did I do? What have I done? And then he stood up, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And he starts walking toward me. I was like, well, I walked over, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know if I've done something, But it was Josh walking over to me. He goes, hey, man, are you David Tolliver? And I'm like, yeah. He said, man, I just want to tell you I'm a big fan of My Baby's Gun. And I was like, oh, thank God. He's not going to hit me. But it was a cool moment for me. As songwriters, we really don't get that a whole lot. I mean, I got it some when I was on the artist side of it, but it's cool that somebody took the time to recognize a songwriter and then took the time to recognize a songwriter, because you don't get that a lot. And I mean, people go through the liner notes, but that just shows what a
fan,
Renaissance man and fan you are.
Yeah. I'm still a fan of your stuff,
dive down. Oh, come on. I'm a big fan of
I
yours.
am, buddy.
Quit that. Just quit that.
I know.
So
gonna make out?
You met Brantley through Luke.
Yeah.
And then signed to, was it Warner Brothers?
Warner
Chapel?
and Ride or Die.
Okay. That's Brantley's, right?
Yeah.
And
So signed there, and then it was like immediately went out on the road with Brantley to
Yeah.
write.
When did you sign a record deal?
Okay, so immediately go out on the road with Brantley. Borchetta heard a demo that I was singing on one of those songs, and was like, "Who is this?" And
Talking about Scott Borchetta.
yeah, sorry, Scott Borchetta at Big Machine.
Yeah.
Heard a demo, which is Brantley's label. Heard a demo I was singing. He was like, "Send me more of this guy's stuff." I'd also been writing with Singleton, who was at Big Machine at the time, and Tally, who is they're just great people. Jonathan Singleton, heck of a songwriter.
Yeah, man.
Tally Canterbury is his A&R at the time, and so she was like, "Man, let me A&R your artist stuff. Scott's already interested. Let's do it." And so I did the artist thing for a little bit.
Yeah. I remember you were real happy about all that,
Oh
too.
God!
We would get together. He's like, God, I can't stand this. I'm like, welcome, man. Welcome.
It just wasn't for me, and I think the artist thing is really cool. I think it helped both of us in our songwriting.
Absolutely.
I think it really does. And I'm so glad I did it, because it opened up doors with writers that I never would have written with, or it would have took me a long time
It
to write with.
expedites the process, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. And then you get in those rooms and you gain their respect as a writer. And then, in my shoes, I was like, I'm not happy doing this. And so I was fortunate that Scott was cool about it. I called him and I was like, hey, man, I kind of want to get out of my record deal.
When have you, that's, people move here every day for that. And Josh says, that's so cool that you're like, you know what? I really don't like this. I don't want to anymore.
So, you weren't pursuing that?
No, I just wanted to be a songwriter. I mean, I played shows, but it was more to pay the bills than anything. Yeah.
So what made you decide to be like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot?
I think it was the advance money.
Hey, I get it. That's a big chunk of change. Pay some bills.
I think it was that, dude. But I think also in all of us, there's a little artist.
Sure. Yeah.
I just had to realize that mine's a whole lot smaller than I thought it was. It's not.
I think that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, it takes a large man to admit he's small.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
No, it was. I mean, we were halfway through radio tour, and I'm like, I'm done. I hate it.
It's a different life, man. People, it honestly takes a special breed of person to do that really well. It takes a certain temperament, and it's very involved, and especially if you have a family, it will. You either destroy or you learn to adapt, and a lot of people get destroyed by it. Mm-hmm. And I remember you coming out on the road. You came and watched us play one time. And now Josh is sober. How long you been sober?
3 years.
Congratulations, dude. It's
Thanks,
badass.
man.
At this time, Josh was not sober.
Was not at all.
When we played in Birmingham, and he came out to the show, and he had what kind of you rented something?
I had
like a Toyota Corolla.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it may as well have been a Prius. It was tiny, dude. But it was back when you could rent a car for like $10 a day.
Yeah.
So it was like, rather than driving my truck, I'll just rent a car and get 100 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
So he came to the show, and we went out. We went out afterwards and went to this bar. And we were just hanging out. It was a good night. And then the next morning, he calls me and goes, "Hey, man." Like, yeah. He goes, "So I woke up with a street sign in my car." Like, buddy, what did you do? He goes, "Don't really know."
Yeah, dude. And it wasn't just the sign, dude. It was still on the post.
No, it was the whole
like
sign.
the whole post, dude. And so what had happened
Concrete
was,
and all.
Wow.
So that night we had went out. I was like, "David, I'm driving," and you tried to stop me because you're a good friend. And I think I lied to him. I was like, "I'm just going to get an Uber," and I didn't get an Uber.
No.
I went to the car and I drove back to the hotel, which is a terrible thing to do. And on my way back and out of the parking spot, I plowed over a no parking sign.
Yeah.
And so in my drunk mind, I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm just going to pick it up and put it in the back of the car. What I didn't realize is that I had to roll the window down to fit the whole sign in there. And so I'm driving to my hotel with a no parking sign sticking out the back glass. And I wake up, dude, and walk out, and I'm like, okay, there's a dent in the rear bumper
Yeah.
and a sign in the back seat. I know what happened.
Oh, dear God.
Golly.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all done some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do you like haunted corn mazes?
Yeah.
Haunted?
It's haunted.
Haunted.
Josh said, we were talking earlier, we just bullshit when we first get here, and he said something about a haunted corn maze, and I was like, "You mean haunted?" He goes, "Yeah,
Yeah, haunted.
haunted." No, you said haunted.
Haunted. What? I'm saying it the same way you're saying it.
And then we've just, I mean, it's just, we nonstop, three of us just kept going haunted. Yeah. So you like those? Are those good?
I don't mind them. I just don't like clowns.
Clowns.
I hate clowns.
Tell us the story you told us about.
There was an instance when I was like 16 or 17, and there's this haunted. There's this haunted corn maze outside of Sanford, North Carolina, which is where I'm from. And we're walking through it. There's a group of us, and dude, I don't know. It's like, you know how when something scares you, your first reaction is either to run or swing at it.
Yeah.
One of the two.
What did
there's
you
no
do?
in between. I hit him. The clown jumped out. I hit him.
You hit a clown.
I did.
Like, how did you?
But it
hit
was
him,
like
though?
a first reaction. I just swung at him, hit him in the mouth.
In his clown mouth.
His clown
In his
mouth.
clown mouth.
And he kept
yeah.
smiling. That's weird.
Yeah. And I just remember. And so I got kicked out of the corn maze.
Because you punched a clown.
But he scared me.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
But it was a haunted corn maze. Like, you knew this was going to happen.
I know.
Hey,
But
there may be things
just
jump
a
out at you
reaction.
at the haunted corn maze.
The haunted corn maze.
It's so hard for you to say it the right way.
It's very hard.
Oh, Lord. What's your favorite song you've written?
Man, probably Dirt Cheap. Actually, it's a no-brainer. Yes, it's Dirt Cheap.
Well, the song we're talking about is a song called Dirt Cheap, and Cody Johnson cut it. I woke up, I think it was one morning, I woke up, and Josh sent me, he goes, "Hey, man, I got this song I just wrote by myself." He said, "Would you share it with Lee Bryce?" I don't know why you asked me to. I did, but you have Lee's number
Josh
two.
is always working those angles.
Yeah,
but
dude.
I said,
He asked me to send a song to Dylan Scott one time, and I sent it to Dylan, and Dylan's like, "Why didn't Josh just send it to me himself?" I was
Right?
like, I don't
Because
know.
half the time he replies and half the time he doesn't. So I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe if I just send it to Colt, I don't have to bug him and worry about him not replying.
which is the same
Well,
with Lee. You don't, I don't,
Dylan responds to me like 10% of the time, so
yeah, same.
Don't feel bad.
yeah. He likes you a lot more than he likes me.
I love Dylan, dude. He's so good.
But you sent me Dirt Cheap, and I listened to it. And I'm like, oh my God! And I played it for Jenna. She's like, oh my God!
Yeah.
I think at the time you were like, help me if you want to help me finish it. was like, man, there's nothing I can do to this song to
Wow,
make
your
it any
ethical side got in the
better.
way?
Like, you don't need my help. It's done. That's
Yeah.
And every time you play, we play a lot. Josh and I play a lot of writers' nights together. And every time you play it, dude, it hits me. It's like it's brand new every time. It's just one of those songs, and I think it comes from a place of honesty. It comes from, it's your story.
Literally, yeah.
And how did you do that? Did you just sit down one day and be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna write this amazing song"?
No, I think so. Well, just to go into the whole story, when I started writing, obviously I was writing by myself, like we all do.
Yeah.
And the one thing I noticed after like writing a couple years as being a staff writer, whatever you want to call it, in Nashville, was that we never write by ourselves. And I think there's a reason for that, because we get a song quicker, but also we have, backboards in the room where we can figure out what the best line is with different people being in there. But there's a sense of emotion that I don't think you get sometimes with certain hooks and that sort of thing with a group of people. And also sometimes just inspiration just falls out, as we all know. And so I'd had Dirt Cheap in my phone, the title, just because I thought it looked cool. I had no idea how to write it at all. And about 5 years ago, Jordan and I bought an old farmhouse. It was built in 1904, and we were remodeling it. The goal was to remodel it, sell it when the market went up, make some equity, and then build our dream house. And I was sitting around a fire one night looking through my ideas and in my phone, and I was like, man, this house has just been, like, we built so much here. You can't buy this kind of dirt cheap. And I went, crap.
Yeah, there's the hook.
And I was like, that's how you freaking write it. And so I went out there to the barn, and I was like, I can't write it from 100% my perspective, because it's like, the songwriters remodeling the house. That would just be a weird story. And so I wrote it based on the woman that we bought it from's husband's point of view.
Yeah.
And he was an old farmer, and he had built that house. They lived there their whole lives. And so it's, they came in thinking top dollar to that old cotton crop farmer was the first line. Good. And it was just like, it just kind of fell out. That's why a lot of times you'll hear me say, God wrote the song, I just got the coffee. Yeah. Because it's so true, dude. He did. And that song's just been nothing short of a blessing. It's been unreal.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard it, you two were playing around at the listening room, and it was like last summer, early fall or something, whenever that show was. And I've always been a fan of you and your writing anyway, but when you wrote that, I was like, holy shit. I was like, and then you think, then I don't even think I knew you wrote it 100%, but I remember when I was listening to it, I was like, man, Josh has really gotten good at his writing. And then I talked to you after the show. I was like, dude, I love Dirt Cheap. That song is a monster. And I was like, man, who'd you write that with? And you're like, I wrote 100%. I was like, fuck you. But in a good way. Like, dude, you just and you're like, yeah, I think Cody's going to cut it. I was like,
yeah,
that's the move.
I think it was the right person, too. I mean, it's...
Oh, he killed it, too.
Yeah.
I love the cut.
It's wild, too, man, because Combs had it.
Yeah.
So the first person I sent it to was Combs, and he had it, and he was like, man, I love this, but the reality is I'm not putting a record out until, for another 2 or 3 years, because he already had this record that's out now. It was already recorded.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you mind if I, send it to other people? Mm. And he was like, no, not at all. And so I had no idea who to send it to. I had sent it to Lee, and Lee was like, I love this. He did say, he was like, I love this, but I have a song called Heart Pine that's a lot like it that I think he was cutting. And he said, man, this is awesome. This will get cut, And he was really cool about it. And so I was frustrated. I walked in the house, and I'm like, babe, I don't know who to send it to.
Welcome to my job.
And, dude, it was her, Jordan, my wife. She looked at me, and she goes, why don't you send it to Cody Johnson? And I went, I'd never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'd written with, this is God, dude. When I was an artist, I'd written with Trent Willman back in the day. And I texted it to Trent. I said, hey, man, I know it's been a while. We haven't written since I was an artist, but I just wrote this. I'd love for you to listen to it. And the only thing he texted back was, thanks for making a grown man cry. I just sent it to Cody. And then 5 minutes later, he goes, we're cutting it next round.
Good Lord.
Wow.
So,
that's awesome.
It's God. Yeah. It's a God.
Literally, dude.
I mean, those relationships are there for a reason. And Lee and Luke, the good dudes that they are.
For sure.
Anytime, people can, I've heard people hold songs for years.
Oh, yeah.
But those guys are salt of the earth, and to for them to give up a song like that means they like you a lot, and they're respectful of the songs too.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
that's not badass, dude. I heard it when Cody. I mean, I always love hearing you do it. When I heard Cody do it, I'm like, that's the special song.
Yeah, he's a better singer than I am.
He sings pretty good, and the timing of that. I mean, he comes off a huge number one.
Yeah.
And then your song's coming out on this album. Good Lord, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
Wild.
Cody hit the next level as an artist after Till You Can't, and so definitely having a song on that project carries a lot more weight than it did previously. So
For sure.
hopefully it's the next single, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You know,
I wish I would have written on it.
You had your chance.
I did. Damn it.
yeah.
I think
We're going to write more of them.
I think I did. You just didn't remember it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he spell corrected a word on it.
Yeah. I can't spell. We talked about that
I'll get
too.
you a dirt bike.
Can't buy dirt bikes cheap.
That's right.
I'm going to ride a dirt bike or I get yelled at by crossing guards.
Oh, what happened?
Dude, I am so tired.
Yeah, tell us about your
What'd you do?
crossing guard.
So I had to run home after I wrote today, and then I was coming back to the road to do the podcast, and I knew I was going to hit school zones. So I'm very conscious. I have kids, very conscious of school zones. I hit one out here, pretty close to Music Row, and I look down and I'm like, you know what? 13 miles an hour, good speed to go through this 15 mile an hour zone.
Two
I'm gonna go
below the
200.
limit.
I could have gone 3, could have gone even. I went 200. I get close to the crossing guard and she loses her mind with the whistle and the waving of the hand up and down, and I'm like looking for somebody else that's coming flying by me, and she's looking at me.
That's you.
Oh,
Yeah.
She didn't like to look at your face.
Dude, I looked at her. I'm like, I'm doing 13.
Did you cuss at her?
No, I did not.
Did you flip her off?
No, I was good. She was. She
I find
was.
that hard to believe.
She's really close to the end anyway. So
Oh my! Crossing guard.
But it's just one of those things, you know.
She's just trying to protect the children, David.
There's no children out there, and I was doing.
So there was no
13.
kids at all.
No,
and she's still freaking out.
Me and her was the only people out there.
Unreal.
And that's it.
She had it out for you.
Come on, Gladys, do better.
Yeah,
Gladys.
Be better.
That was my grandmother's name.
Mine too.
Really?
Yeah.
How do we not know this?
I don't know. I mean, it was a pretty common name.
Yeah.
We got two to pick from, Martha or Gladys. Which one we gonna use, honey?
Irene.
Yes.
Well,
No,
your sister's Gladys, so you're going to
Well,
be
my
Martha.
my mom named my middle sister Gladys Renee after her mother, and my sister went and changed her name, took
Wow.
the Gladys off because she
Man.
did not like the Gladys.
That's brutal.
That's rude, right?
Yeah.
Unreal. Shame on you, Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Luke Combs, Brantley Gilbert.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
What do you mean, like
My cuts.
songs
I mean,
with?
yeah.
Well, obviously Cody.
Cody.
Aldean.
Which one? Small Town Small.
Had Small Town Small, and then I had I'm Over You on the last record.
Nice.
Michael Ray. No Lee Bryce cuts.
We tried.
We tried, dude.
We wrote a couple really good songs.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? What's wrong with you, Lee?
A lot.
We wrote a song
We
called
love him.
Wheels on the Truck. Go
Wheels
around.
on the truck go round.
It's so good.
It's awesome. It's hooky.
They're dropping the ball. They didn't record
We'll
that
pray
song.
for you, Lee.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
We'll just give it to Cody Johnson. He's looking again.
I mean,
Can you hear Cody singing Wheels on the Truck?
Yeah, if he
No.
cuts it, I can hear him singing it.
that's true.
Michael Ray could do that song.
He could do it.
Who else could do that song?
Chris Young.
Dude, speaking of,
Like I just.
Yeah, our old pal CY just had a run in with the law.
dude, have you seen the video?
Yeah.
He got screwed.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
when you wake up to, I'd text him. I'd text him the night before because I haven't seen him in a while. He's a really good friend of all of ours. And I texted him. I was like, man, I just, I hadn't seen you in forever. Just want to get together, make some lunch or something. And I didn't get any response. And I'm like, well, it's not atypical, but
Yeah.
it's a little weird. And then got up the next morning, and somebody, I can't remember who it was, sent me a text of the mugshot, and I'm like, well, what has happened? And if you read it, the original thing, it's like Chris Young, chased the ABC people.
Yeah, him and his posse.
Yeah, him and his posse
followed,
chased them around, videoing them, harassed them,
yeah.
and then punched a cop's baby in the face.
Which is totally not the guy that we know and love.
No.
At all.
Oh, Chris is one of the sweetest. He's just a big nerd, and he will tell you this himself.
But sweetheart.
He's also so, not worried or concerned, but worried about his public image.
Yeah.
If he's mad, he'll just leave the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a go up and I'm going to have a conflict with this person.
Yeah.
That's what Josh and I were talking. We were like, he's like the least violent person that we know. Josh and I, on the other hand,
people would believe that.
would believe
Josh hit a cop. Makes sense, dude.
That's what we were talking on the
He
way.
ain't even drink anymore.
We were talking on the way up here. It was like, if we were with him, we probably all would have gone to jail.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But it's you read it's how that's how obscure or what is it? What word am I looking for?
Obscure, probably.
That's how the media does things sometimes, because they'll get a little bit of information and run with it. And the alcohol beverage agent obviously lied on his affidavit.
Yeah.
Chris didn't punch him or push him in the arm. I've seen the video. I mean, the dude was walking by and
touched him
bumped
on his
Chris.
shoulder. Yeah.
We walked by and bumped Chris, and Chris was like, "Hey, man," kind of touched his shoulder, and then they shoved him down over some chairs.
Yeah.
That took some work, because Chris not a little guy. But it's just, I hate it.
Also, props to Chris for not getting up and knocking that dude's teeth out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good on him, dude.
Yeah. No, but I think we reached out to him and we talked a little bit, and I hate it the way that went down, because he does have street cred now.
For sure.
Because we talked about that too, me and Josh both.
Dude, I would say Chris, side note, but still about Chris. He was one of the first guys, big artists, that cared about what I did as a songwriter. And I've always admired him and appreciated him for that. He was, if you think about it, dude, it was like him and Luke were kind of the first guys.
Yeah.
And Chris has always been that guy that, just such a great guy. And,
I think we're going to hear a lot more to the story, and it's all going to come out. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's going to be lawyers involved somewhere.
Hey, that video is a saving grace for him. Because, it's obviously up to someone else's interpretation of the video. But from what I can see, I'm like, oh, well, good thing there's a video.
Yeah.
There's 4 different angles of it, too.
Is there? I've only seen the one.
Yeah, he good.
Yeah.
He good.
It definitely was not the way the dude said. So,
Yeah.
research, people. Don't be spreading lies. We love you, Chris. We're very, very sorry. It's ridiculous.
Free Chris Young.
Free.
We got to make shirts, dude.
With the mugshot.
Oh my God. It would be so uncomfortable if we all walked in one day with all the shirts on now.
Oh, he would hate us so hard.
So
Mercy. Wow. Who's your favorite, artist to write with besides me? I guess, I don't know.
Man,
artist.
Way to just make me alienate some artists
Right?
that
Yeah.
I love.
You can only pick two.
Of Luke or Brantley, which is your?
Of those two?
No.
Oh no, yeah, I can't.
Oh,
go
no.
there.
Was that intentional? Or
You ain't got to answer that. I'm just messing around. I knew you.
I would say-
here's a better question. Who were your influences growing up?
Yeah.
Not country, which is the most odd thing in the world.
Same.
Southern rock, hip hop, Southern gospel. My mom was, it was church every Sunday, so in her car it was always Southern gospel. In my dad's car, it was, there was country, but it was a lot of oldies, old classic rock. And then I remember when I was 12 or 13, I got my first iPod. I bought it at school from this dude. And the iPod was
Black market
I
iPod.
bought it at school
Yeah, dude.
from this dude.
Well, mom and dad were it was a church family, so it was you don't listen to Eminem. I thought Eminem was a band. I had no idea when I was 12 or 13.
It's a candy.
And so,
It's like NSYNC. Yeah.
dude, so I get this iPod and it's full of, 50 Cent, Young Jeezy, Eminem, Young Jock, freaking dude, all
Little Pistol
of it.
Shooter,
Dude,
Little Homie Head
Pretty
Wound.
Ricky,
I don't know. Pretty
Neo,
Ricky.
Nelly, all of it.
You're just
And
making up
I'm
names
in
now.
heaven. Dude.
Really?
Oh,
You loved it?
I loved it, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, it was Rihanna, Sierra, all that stuff. Just the melodies were unreal. It was a total different thing. And Eminem's my favorite rapper of all time.
He's the best rapper of all time.
Unreal, absolutely. And so what I would do is I would tell my mom that, this is funny, but I had a Walkman, and so I would put like a Switchfoot CD in my Walkman
Yeah.
while I'm sitting there, right? But my iPod's in my pocket, and I've got my headphones in my iPod, but she thinks I'm listening to Switchfoot because I've got my Walkman sitting on my lap.
The old bait and switch.
So I would
yeah.
be bumping Eminem, while Switchfoot was spinning around in the
That's
Walkman.
hilarious.
Really?
So yeah, a lot of my dude, you've written with me enough. Like a lot of that internal stuff that I do is a hip hop thing.
It's
I just love
exactly. It's very. It's a meter to it.
Yeah, and so which is what I think it's the Max Martin. That's what you're attempting to do. I don't know. It's just a meter to it. And so yeah, hip hop was a big thing, and rock. Like, I mean, dude, Avenged Sevenfold, Metallica, freaking. Kubla Khan is a metal band out of Texas.
Kubla Khan.
Yeah, they're sick, dude.
Kubla Khan.
Kubla Khan. They're a metal band, like hardcore metal out of Texas. Stuff like that. Anything but Christian and country, basically. Yeah.
Anything but the Lord's music.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then when I got my license, I heard a song called Dirt Road Anthem. And dude, it was like, both of y'all know, Dirt Road Anthem was hip hop and it was rock, but it was on country radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, I go, oh, this is cool. You
Yeah.
know?
Did you feel like you had a place then?
I felt like I had a place. And so I dove into Jason's whole catalog is rock. Like it's country, but it's rock. And so is Brantley's, and I just fell in love with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Brantley was first starting out. I actually think I was at his showcase for Big Machine, and it was a rock show.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, rock show.
Yeah.
Between the way he looks, the way his band looks, the sound, the energy, crowd reaction.
The brass knuckles everywhere on stage.
I remember looking at him going, wow. And then I just look over at Scott, and, he just had dollar signs in his eyes. And I was like, yeah, this is about to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott's probably holding one of his freaking corgis just watching the show. You like this show?
You want to go get in my race car?
Yeah. Scott, thank you for letting me out of my record deal. We're not talking junk about you at all.
Oh man, Scott had just left Universal when we got signed to Universal, and he had signed Taylor Swift.
Good move on his part.
Yeah, basically
Worked
bought
out.
him an island somewhere, with a racetrack on it. He's done very well for himself.
Yeah.
He's got all the product for his hair he ever needs.
All of
It's
it.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Have you been to his house?
No.
So he literally got stones from an old castle overseas, had them shipped over, rebuilt here in Brentwood. His house is massive, and it's a castle.
Wow.
It's because you can't find stones here.
Yeah.
There's
You
no
definitely can't
limestone.
find them dirt
No.
cheap. I thought that's where you were going.
No, but I like it.
Oh.
My baby's stones and roses.
I wonder if the castle's haunted.
It's haunted. Do you think they'll have a haunted corn maze out back of the castle?
They probably do.
He should have
I mean, it's definitely
clowns
haunted.
all over the
Haunted.
castle.
Just haunted.
That's our other band name, Josh Punches Clowns.
Yeah.
These are probably all punk rock bands from like the 90s. No, it's an actual band.
Randy Houser's
Clown
Hypnotized Chicken is the best thing I've heard today, though. I can't believe that. I think you may have told me that story before,
I didn't tell you. Colt told you.
and that's what I mean.
Hypnotized chicken?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a thing.
I think you have told me that story before.
You should have been there.
I should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got
Now you'll
going
just
on?
have to do it again next time you're around him.
Yeah. Yeah, Randy, Hypnotizes Chicken. I just happened to bring a chicken with me.
Meet Fred.
Jenna's like, why are you buying a chicken? Babe, you
Honey,
wouldn't understand, but
me
I
and-
got to go to Randy's house.
Yeah, Randy's coming over for dinner. I got to see this.
He's going to hypnotize it, then we're going to eat it. Just hush.
I see him once a year at the dove hunt that me and you go to at Lee's.
Oh, God.
And, yeah, I see Jamie Johnson once a year. I see Randy Houser once a year.
I shot so bad this year.
I don't know who you were.
I don't know, dude. It was
You became
awful.
a pacifist.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know how in baseball, like, you go through slumps? I think I had a shooting slump that day.
Wow.
It was terrible, dude. I bet I hit what 2 or 3 birds.
A dove landed on the end of his barrel and he didn't hit it.
Josh,
Little exaggeration, but yes.
feels right.
Yeah.
Josh and I are in one part of the field, and there's people, probably 100 feet on every side of you. Mm-hmm. And there was this girl over across the road.
Unreal.
I mean, she was a sniper with a shotgun.
Who was it?
I don't know, but she was just
there.
She was legendary.
She was a better shooter than, dude. She might be the best shooter I've ever seen.
Maybe the best
in a dove field. It was nuts, dude.
Wow.
Philip Lemons was over there with her, and she was wearing him out.
Yeah,
Just like a ninja.
Wow.
With a shotgun.
it was nuts.
Yeah.
Don't you do like some kind of motorcycle stuff, restoration or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just kind of, I guess, customize them, build them.
Yeah.
They're my bikes. It's not like I do it for business or anything.
I think I just see you posting about it, so I didn't know if that was like a side hustle or.
Josh has got every side
passion
hustle in
project.
the world.
Yeah, it's a passion thing. I'm addicted to motorcycles, and thankfully I have a wife that allows me to be addicted to them. I guess she would rather it be that than alcohol, so hence the reason why I've been sober. So I was like, when I started getting really into bikes, which I was, 16, 17, I couldn't afford like really nice ones. And not saying that I can now, but now it's a little bit different. And so I have these 4 motorcycles, and I was like, I want to build them out. And so I reached out to these companies, Kraus, and shout out DynoJet, all those people, Sawiki Speed. And they were nice enough. They were nice enough to be like, hey, we'll send you product if you shout it out on socials.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's nice getting free stuff, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't get free stuff.
You could.
What's your favorite bike you built or refurbished or whatever it is?
Probably my 2017 Road Glide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty extensive.
Does it have brass knuckles on it?
It doesn't. It does not.
Do you think that Brantley put brass knuckles on his baby's bottle,
Yes.
like for his kid?
I don't know.
I bet he had a bottle with brass knuckles that the baby could hold.
Would be cool. Then the baby wouldn't drop it.
That's actually a good
It's
idea.
actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody should make that and make a lot of money.
We should. I guarantee. I bet it was King Baby too.
Somebody's made it for sure. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got going on right now? I know you write 8 times a day sometimes.
Oh no, I usually try to write just twice a day, but yesterday and the day before I did 3.
You're still doing 2 and 3 days or 3 writes a day?
No, well, normally I just do 2 a day, but yesterday and the day before I did 3.
God, Lord, I don't know how you do that.
You're a machine, bro.
I don't know about that.
I can't even get David to write 2 days a week.
No. I got this mind has to build up the creative juices.
I just have serious, like, I'm going to miss something if I'm not there. And then it's like you look at guys like Gorley, that dude's writing 3 songs a day.
He's still doing it, which is nuts.
That's why he has he has 4,000 number ones now.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm not trying to have 100 number ones, but I do know that if I can write 3 songs a day, 4 days a week, eventually, there's going to be a bunch of hits.
Law of averages.
Do you still find you're getting quality writing that much?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're getting some quality, but
sure.
like consistent quality?
I do, man. I think it's been great. I feel like right now I'm writing the best songs of my life. And a part of that is the room that you're in, obviously, but I just think, too, that I've just been so focused on it right now that I'm just writing really great songs and having great ideas. I think when the day comes that I don't have ideas, then, I'll call Warner and go, hey, let's take a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Can I get out of my publishing deal?
Yeah. But it's easy to...
Ben's like, no.
It's easy to find inspiration, I think, when we live out in the country, dude, and my kids are a huge source of inspiration.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to find inspiration when you're around that all the time,
Well, dude, you're, like I said, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, but you're one of the most talented writers I know. Just the way you put words together and the way your thought process goes and how quick you do it. It's
Well, I appreciate
pretty awesome,
it, dude.
man. It's pretty awesome.
I don't agree with you, but I appreciate it.
I know. You're
Means a lot.
you're real humble.
It means
You're
a lot.
Humble clown puncher. What else you got going on right now? Anything special you want to talk about?
Dude, really just, writing like crazy. I don't know. we're done having babies, so we're
Yeah.
not doing that anymore.
No, three's enough.
Yeah, I mean we're looking at land now, so that is kind of a cool thing. We're looking for some property and trying to, grow these kids up the way that I was raised on land and riding 4-wheelers and fishing and hunting, all that good stuff.
That's awesome, dude.
Corn mazes, yeah.
Corn mazes.
Haunted corn mazes.
Haunted.
Hopefully they have their mother's accent and not mine.
I don't know if it's going to improve any.
There's probably not.
That's nothing wrong with the accent. I just like the way you say
I love
haunted.
it. My wife has an accent, and I always make fun of her all the time, and she hates it. But
If you have Canadian listeners that are girls, they're gonna love this.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
yeah,
No,
Canada's flooding to Nashville right now.
No more people from Georgia or Canada.
Yeah.
You don't like Georgia anymore?
I do, but they've taken all my money. I mean, all the artists and songwriters from Georgia.
Just breeding songwriters.
Yeah,
in there. It's
it used to be
nuts.
Kentucky, and now it's not anymore.
There's a ton of. I mean, they're just awesome. Like, there's a lot of great artists coming out of Georgia, even the young guys now.
I didn't say they weren't any good. I just don't want them to come here anymore.
Hey, we have a show this
We
weekend.
do have a
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when's this going to come out.
Next week.
Next.
We had
Well,
a show.
we have another one.
Oh, that's right. We do.
have
When is that?
next weekend. We have
This
one
is
this weekend
next
and the next weekend. Somehow
Well, what's the date of the next weekend one?
December
plug it.
2nd.
What?
December. Huh?
Bro, we're in
It's
January.
That's what I mean. February 2nd.
Yep. February 2nd.
I don't know what times these are.
February 2nd,
6:30.
6:30 at the listening room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
Who y'all
one-
playing with?
No, it's
Matt McKinney.
Matt McKinney.
Matt McKinney.
Yeah, Matt McKinney.
Matt is
Why would I say
awesome.
that
He
like
wrote Getting Dick Down in Dallas. He wrote that.
Oh my lord, the Trey Lewis song. Oh boy.
He hates to be known for that, so I'm always like, didn't you write Dick Down in
Oh,
Dallas?
then he's getting well known for it at the
100%.
listening room when he plays this. But we do that. We play the listening room a lot. It's a wonderful place here in town for songwriters.
It is.
Chris Blair is giving people. He's a songwriter himself, so he knows how to take care of the songwriter. So we
And they do a good job too. I mean, it's a great venue, good seating, good food, drinks, and the sound's great.
Yeah, it's
No.
well. The sound was not good one time.
Yeah.
Was that your fault or
No, bless her heart.
She was just new, and
It was a Saturday night, and I think she had gotten hired out of false pretenses
yeah.
because I knew we were in trouble when she came down to do monitors and has her iPad, and I was like, "Can you put a little more of my vocal in here?" She goes, "I can't do that from down here, but I'll do it up there." I'm like, "I don't know why you've got that iPad." So I let that one slide, and about 3 songs in, there wasn't anything in the main speakers. And I had a wireless pack on my guitar at the time, so Ravid came out. Rage hit me a little bit, and I just started. I was like, really? And so I just jumped off the stage, and the sound booth is on the 2nd level. So I walked up the stairs, and about
during the set?
I'm still playing the song. And
Were you there for this?
Oh, yeah. It was
my
amazing.
goodness.
dude.
and I looked at her, and her eyes were huge. She goes, "I'm sorry, I've never done this before." I'm like, and then I mean, they were great. The manager came over afterwards, like, "We are so sorry." I'm like, "Look, it's fine. It happens. It's never happened to me before, but you play enough places, you're going to end up with some gremlins." But bless her heart, she had a rough night that night.
Little in over her head.
It's a Saturday night in Nashville. I mean, come on, man. You got to have somebody that knows what they're doing, especially with professional artists and songwriters. And but it was funny. We all laughed it off. And it was hilarious.
It was a good one.
For
sure.
Where can people find you?
Right here. No, I'm just kidding. So Instagram.
Can you give us the address of your house?
It's all I'm Josh Phillips.
I am Josh
Embrace
Phillips.
the contraction. I'm Josh Phillips. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, which I never use.
Oh my gosh, you're on TikTok?
I am.
Man,
Do you do any
Mainly
dances?
because my wife sends me videos and I
even know
have
who
to
you
make
are
an account to
anymore.
watch them. Yeah, all the good stuff. I'm Josh Phillips, and then I've got music out. You can get it on any streaming platform from when I was an artist, which I desperately need to put out a new EP.
Yeah, I think
it's just kind of a passion project.
Dude, I think
you started
played me
working on
something
anything?
the other day.
Yeah, dude. I've been thinking about doing an EP of all 100%ers, just songs I wrote by myself.
So greedy.
Love that idea.
It's not. It's not even. It's more so for me of like,
You're totally going to cover Dirt Cheap, aren't you?
for sure.
Yeah.
It's like a therapy thing for me, writing by myself.
Yeah.
Just, again, even Dirt Cheap, it wasn't. I didn't think anybody would cut that song.
Well, you're
It was
dumb.
just for me.
I heard it and I was like, this is definitely getting
Yeah.
cut.
But yeah, so I've got a bunch of those songs that I've just written, whether they be about my family or whether they're about how I grew up, just different stuff. And it's not the down the middle radio thing. Some of it's rock, some of it's kind of hip hoppy, and some of it's just ballad. Let's cry while we ride.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think you
stuff.
should definitely do that.
And so yeah, I'm thinking about doing it.
Well, come on. What are you waiting on?
A producer that's not going to charge me, $5,000 aside.
Good luck.
Exactly.
So you're thinking like full big time project.
Yeah, dude. I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun.
If you're gonna do it better than Raleigh.
Who produced you last time?
Randy Montana.
Randy.
Old Randy.
He could do it for free. He's doing all right.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
He's not busy.
How is Randy so young but his dad's so old?
Well,
You know,
Billy had kids late in life, apparently.
Yeah.
like when he was 70.
Yeah.
170.
Amazing.
Randy's got to be. Is he 35, 36?
Well, Billy's
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Billy's
He's like
160.
Yeah. Shout out Randy. He's crushing it.
Yeah, dude, slaying.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I think he had 3 songs on the charts right now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
It's crazy, dude.
like that family needs any more hits.
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
I will say, like, he was one of those dudes, man, that I met through Combs that, like, we started writing really early. The way that we met's actually really funny. I don't know how much time we have.
you're fine.
All the time
But,
you want, baby. You came here an hour early.
Yeah,
So I was a huge fan of Randy, like massive fan of Randy's artistry. And I was in my house in Hermitage at the time, and he had gotten my number. I had never spoke a word to him, but all my buddies knew I was a big Randy Montana fan. And he called me. I was in the shower. I jump out of the shower, hear my phone ringing. Didn't know the number, but I was like, it's got to be somebody. It's a Nashville number. So I picked it up, and Randy's on the other side. He goes, "Hey, man, is this Josh?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "It's Randy Montana." And I went, click. No, it's not. And hung up on him, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I'm like, my friends are messing with me. Like, why would this dude be calling me? And so he calls back, and we talked for a while, and that's how we got to know each other. And he was always one of those dudes that you go, I think we all thought this at some point. He is so phenomenal. Why does he not have 100 hits?
yeah,
Yeah.
Because he's one of the best writers in town.
Yeah,
Yep.
Melodies are unreal. His lyrics are nuts. He's a great player, and he's a phenomenal singer.
Yep.
And I think for years we were all going, why does he not have a bunch of hits?
I know. I've known Randy since he was super young and had long hair.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, when he was at Sony, it's like, because, he used to write with Billy all the time, and they
Yeah.
still write every now and then. But, like, so I was always familiar somewhat with his catalog, and you'd hear these songs, you're like, man, this kid is so good. And I mean, and he was great when he had his record deal.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I was like, man, one day he's just gonna pop, and then it's just he's gonna flood the town, and that's what happened. He just finally got that first #1, and boom.
Yeah. It
Dude's
was
on
like
a roll.
finally the town went, oh, he's great.
Oh, we love Randy.
all it took was the number
And
one.
here he is. I was writing with him yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday. And I was like, how many #1s will this be? I think it'll be like 11.
Oh my gosh, is it really?
In what,
Really?
3 years, dude?
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I need to borrow money from
Was
him.
it his first one? Was Beer Never Broke My Heart? Right.
I think so.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
his first number one.
I remember he was playing a Bluebird round with his dad, and he played that. He's like, "Yeah, Luke Combs just cut this. It's going to be his next radio single." Blah blah blah. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, I hope this is the one."
Yeah. It
And
was.
dude, that was the floodgates right there,
Yeah.
man.
Because then the cool thing about him is it's not all one artist. It's like
No.
you have Combs, and then you have Parker McCollum, you've got Justin Moore.
You got
like, you got a-
Lee Carly duet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Randy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dude, he's an animal.
Good Lord.
Yep.
I should book some days with him.
Good luck.
That's fine. Whatever. Josh won't get me with Luke, and you won't get me with Randy.
my
That's fine.
I can't even get Billy with Randy.
Dude,
It's true.
yeah. I bet you almost Randy every 11 until October's booked on his schedule
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I about bet.
Yeah.
And then when it's hunting season, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Man goes off the grid.
We had him come and play our, big festival back in Kentucky, the Crockettsville, But we can't write with him now. That's fine.
It's fine. We're fine.
Whatever.
It's all fine.
Care people, help people along their career, Man, have you ever seen A Wheel of Shame?
No, I don't think.
You're about
but
to.
I'm excited to see this
You're
one.
about to.
How does this work?
You'll see.
Oh,
Don't worry.
God.
Dun, 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 dun. Now, the drinking things, we're going to substitute smelling salts.
Okay. Now just step on up, Josh, and give it a big old Price is Right spin.
Spin it, Daddy Bear.
Y'all are going to have to explain this to me. 'Cause
We
I don't
will.
know
It's
Once
all
you
in
spin.
code.
So just roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I should have done that harder.
No, you're good.
Said that before.
Oh, he landed on Wake the Dead.
Is that smelling salts?
Yeah.
Daggum.
Let's go.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm going to throw up, but I'm going to do it.
Okay, here's the thing.
Come on.
Don't get it up against your nose.
Okay.
Keep some distance.
So don't do this.
Yeah.
You're going to want to hold it right down here and then give it a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Right here and deep in. But that, why don't you hold it for him?
He's a big boy. He can hold his own salt.
Yeah, I was going to say, I trust me. God damn.
All right. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, we got to... David's going to do some...
I'm prepping my stomach right now.
You're fine. It's
I just
it's
got a
totally
whip.
fine.
All right, you ready?
All right, you ready? Get it up there a little.
Josh had it so low, too. Oh, dude, it's got the whole room.
It's still in my throat. dude.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Don't make me laugh right now.
Dude, I thought I was going to die. It was the worst thing ever. I had it right here.
Dude,
I got it right here.
you left the lid off too long.
Can I see that, dude? Yeah. So, I've seen like gym guys.
Yeah, dude, they do that for their power lift.
Dude, my stomach hurts. Dude.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Just wait till you lose feeling in your legs.
So
We cannot stress this enough. I'm reading the label. We cannot stress this enough. Atomic Rhino Red Line is extremely strong. Keep away from face unless you are a rhino.
yeah.
Feel the horn.
Feel the horn.
Feel the horn.
Do you know Jim Ed Norman? Well, he's like a long time
unreal.
record label head producer guy. Works with the Eagles and all that. We had him in here. He's like mid-70s. He was the first person to ever do this with us. Dude, he went full nose on that thing.
Yeah.
Did he eat it or did he
just
like
went-
puke?
Like he put it close to his nose.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, he didn't puke. He took it like a champ.
Yeah, his eyeball fell out.
Dude,
but he's
these old
fine.
guys are a different breed, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like we had this stuff called Malort that we would take on the road.
That sounds so familiar.
It was
What is
voted
that?
America's worst liquor. And dude, it's like liquid that.
Yeah.
Malort.
It's brutal. You can, only
Lord.
get it, you can only get it in Chicago, man. And everywhere we would go, we would give it to people like as a shot thing, like when we were on the road, and they would take it, and most people would puke or they would gag.
Ugh.
So we were down in Virginia opening for Chris Jansen, and there was an old guy like that. He was on security, and he was walking by, and I walked out the door. Hey man, I got something for you.
Yeah.
I said, heck yeah. And he comes in there, dude, and he takes a swig and kind of swishes it around for a minute, swallowed it, and handed the bottle back. Ain't too bad, is it? I'm like, dude, something's wrong
Bro,
with you, old man. Like,
what do you
that's not
drink?
normal. Yeah.
You are dead inside, sir.
Yeah.
You are dead.
I'd be
You have
interested.
no soul.
I'd be interested to find that guy and let him smell that. Ugh.
Dude, I don't know.
And you held it further away than anybody else has too. So
Yeah.
you want to try again?
You should do it again.
No.
Yeah, go one more time.
My stomach's still hurting from smelling it. God.
Dude, thanks for coming to hang out with us
Thank
today.
y'all for
Yeah,
having
homie.
me, dude.
And,
Yeah.
been a blast.
Y'all go check out Josh Phillips as a writer and an artist. And
And I'll throw up links on the page.
yeah. Yeah.
Make it easy.
Where can they find us, Tall Brewski?
You can find us. We're available on all streaming platforms. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Podcast.
Like, follow, subscribe,
Yeah. Well,
all the things.
I think I'll go sit in traffic now.
Ugh.
How excited are you about sitting in traffic?
I'm going to go try to find that crossing guard and do 16.
Yeah.
No,
You
she's
should.
gone. She may be gone in life and or her job.
Next time you
know.
should stop
Yeah.
and then just peel out.
Yeah. Be like, what's up, girl?
Poor Gladys.
Y'all have a good day. See you later.
Thank y'all.
Bye, friend.